Taekook one shot. This is going to be a long one shot, maybe 6 to 7 episodes. Hope you will love it. It was a quiet summer evening, crept in the trees outside, and the last golden light of the day slipped through the curtains of the Kim family living room. Kim Taehyung sat on the edge of the couch. Hands folded tightly in lap. He was 17, his school bag lie forgotten on the floor, shoes still half on. Across from him, Jungkook sat with his arms crossed, calm, silent, unreadable. Both their parents were seated nearby, sipping tea with forced smiles. Something in the air felt too serious for a casual visit. Taehyung, his mother, said gently, "Do you remember the promise we made with the Jian family when you were born?" He blinked. "Promise?" Jungkook's eyes didn't move. He was looking at the floor. His jaw clenched slightly. Their parents exchanged glances. Then Mr. Jian spoke, voice steady. "We agreed if one of us had a boy and the other had a girl, they would be married one day, but you both had boys." Taehyung said, confused. "We kept trying." "Thanks," Jungkook's mother said softly, "but in the end, we only had you two." There was a pause. Then Mrs. Kim leaned forward, a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "So we decided, why break the promise just because you are both boys?" Taehyung stared, his heart thudded in his chest, unsure whether it was fear or something else. Jungkook finally looked up. Their eyes met. Taehyung opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came out. His brain was still catching up. "You are engaged," Mr. Jian said, as if that explains everything. "You will marry when you are older." Silence. Taehyung swelled. I don't mind." Jungkook stood. Taehyung looked at him. "Do you?" "You don't have to tell anyone," Jungkook said, his voice calm but firm. "Ever?" Taehyung blinked. "But not your friends, not at school, not anyone." He turned away. Taehyung said, froze. Words catch in his throat. For a moment he thought he saw something flickered in Jungkook's eyes, a tremble, maybe a hesitation, but it was gone as quick as it came. That night Taehyung went to bed with one thought echoing in his head: engaged to Jungkook. And Jungkook, he lay awake in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying one word over and over in his chest. Bitter. He didn't say it out loud. Not yet. Time escaped. The campus burst with noise and energy. Students carried suitcases. Parents hovered with cameras and clubs handed out flickers like confetti. Kim Taehyung stood at the main gate, clenching a wrinkled paper with his dorm number. His heart raced. He was finally here, a whole year behind, thanks to repeating classes, but still university. His eyes scanned the crowd. He wasn't looking for his dorm, he was looking for him. And then there he was, Jungkook, tall, broad shoulders, black t-shirt clinching to his back, basketball tucked around one arm. A group of girls followed behind him, laughing, handing him sneakers and energy drinks like offering to a god. Taehyung's heart thumped. He waved. Jungkook stopped walking. His eyes landed on him for a moment. Taehyung thought he saw a flicker of surprise or maybe warmth. Then it vanished. Jungkook looked away. He didn't wave back. He walked past. Taehyung's smile whittled. But he ran after him anyway, grabbing his bag tighter. "Hey, wait, you saw me, right? It's me." Jungkook stopped and turned slightly. His voice was quite sharp. "Don't act like we are close." Taehyung froze. Behind them, a few girls giggled. Jungkook glanced over his shoulder at the attention and lowered his voice even more. People talk here. Don't give them a reason to. Taehyung's chest tightened. He looked down at his shoes, heat rising behind his ear. Eyes. Right, sorry. Jungkook didn't say anything else. He just walked off. The girls followed him like shadows. Young stood in the middle of the path, surrounded by strangers, trying to convince himself he didn't care. That evening, when Taehyung opened the door to their shared apartment, Jungkook was already there, barefoot, hair wet from shower, scrolling through his phone like nothing happened. They didn't speak for a moment, then Jungkook glanced up. You unpacked? Taehyung bit his lips. Why did you ignore me? Jungkook looked at him for a long time. Then it's better this way. Taehyung blinked fast. Better for who? Jungkook didn't answer, but that night when Taehyung climbed into bed with his back turned, his head, he heard a soft sound in the dark, a whisper barely above silence. Petal. He turned. What? Jungkook didn't say again. It had only been a week since the semester started, but Kim Tae-young already knew three things about Jungkook's university life. Everyone knew his name, everyone wanted his attention, and no one, absolutely no one knew he lived with him. Tae-young watched from the campus cafe window, chin resting on his hand as Jungkook played basketball on the court below. Girls screamed when he scored. Someone shouted, Jungkook, you're so hot, and he just shrugged like it didn't matter. But Taehyung knew. He knew how Jungkook liked his daughters soft, how he always read his in the bathroom, how he would fall asleep with music playing if no one turned it off. He knew that Jungkook was secretly a clean freak and that he snored if he was too tired. He knew too much and yet he felt like a stranger again. You are staring too hard, a voice said beside him. Taehyung flinched. It was Yoongi, sharp jawline, silver earring, confident smile. The other campus heartthrob. He leaned over the table with a casual air. You like Jungkook? Yoongi asked bluntly. Taehyung nearly choked on his drink. What? No. Why would you say that? Back, the late afternoon sun hit the basketball court just right, golden, warm, cinematic. Kim Tae-hyung sat on the upper benches, notebook open on his left. Though he hadn't written anything for a while, his eyes were fixed on one person below. Jungkook swept, glistening down his neck as he moved across the court fast, sharp, focused. Every time the ball hit the floor, things had jumped. Tried to pretend he wasn't watching, but every few seconds his eyes betrayed him. He didn't notice the shadows sitting a few rows above him. Yoongi, legs crossed, earbuds in, but one eye on Taehyung the entire time. After practice ended, the crowd thinned. Taehyung stood and stretched. He didn't realize Jungkook had looked up for just a second. It wasn't much, just a flicker of gaze, then back to the water bottle in his hand. But Youngie catch it. He saw the way Jungkook's expression shifted, that almost invisible softening. He smiled to himself. A few days later, Thing was returning from class when someone suddenly fell on into step beside him. Hey there, daydreamer. Taehyung turned, startled. Huh? Yoongi walked casually beside him, hands in his pockets. You always look like you are in some sort of drama scene. All moody and lovesick, Taehyung frowned. I do not. Yoongi clenched. Relax. I mean it as a compliment. It's cute. Taehyung blinked. Are you always this weird? Only to people alike, Yoongi said smoothly. Before Taehyung could answer, he added, So you and Jungkook, what's the story there? There is no story, Taehyung replied too quickly. Right, Yoongi grinned knowingly. You're just accidentally sitting in the same spot every time he has practice. I'm studying, of course, Yoongi said, eyes twinkling, staring at your textbook while watching him dunk. Taeyong turned away cheeks warm. Why are you even talking to me? Yoongi shrugged. Maybe I find you interesting. Taeyong blinked at him, lips parting slightly. Huh? Me? You are always hiding in plain sight. Kim Taeyong, that's rare around here. Taehyung scratched his cheek awkwardly. I'm not hiding. I just don't like crowds. Cute, Yoongi said, leaning in slightly as they turned a quiet corner near the drums. You always when you are. I'm not. Taehyung squinted, stepping back until his shoulder bumped lightly against the wall. He stood there, cheeks warm, head tapping nervously in his chest. Yoongi titled his head, his face now inches from Taehyung's one hand resting casually against the wall beside him. I wonder, Yoongi murmured with a slow smile, how someone like you ended up so close to someone like Jungkook. I I have known him since we were kids. Ah, Yoongi nodded. Still far too close. Childhood friends, that explains a lot. I am not that interesting. Things said softly, eyes darting between Yoongi's collar and his own, freezing hands. See, that's what makes you interesting. Yoongi whispered playfully what neither of them saw, standing at a distance. Partly hidden by the grave of the hallway was Jungkook. Jungkook had just stepped out of gym towel hanging around his neck when he spotted them. His footsteps slowed. Yoongi was leaning in close, way too close, and Kim Tae-hyung looked like a startled kitten pressed against the wall, face red, clearly flustered. Jungkook narrowed his eyes slightly, his jaw tightened. He didn't move, just watched silently for a few seconds longer. Then, without saying a word, he turned and walked the other way. The next morning, Taehyung peeked into the kitchen, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Morning, he mumbled, voice still thick with sleep. Jungkook stood at the counter pouring coffee. He didn't turn around. Taehyung stepped closer, tugging at the hem of his oversized t-shirt. Jungkook's shirt, actually, the one he always wore when he slept. You made coffee? Taehyung asked gently, trying to pick at Jungkook's face. Can I have some? Jungkook slid a mug across the counter without looking at him. It's hot. Taehyung hesitated, fingers brushing the warm ceramic. Did I do something wrong? Jungkook finally looked up, eyes unreadable. Why would you think that? Oh no, you are being all. Taehyung paused, trying to find a word. Distant. Jungkook went quiet. Taehyung offered a small, soft smile. I didn't mean to make you upset. You didn't, Jungkook replied, turning away again, but the set of his shoulders stayed tense. Later that afternoon, Taehyung wandered near the outdoor court where Jungkook practiced. He stayed by the benches, pretending to scroll on his phone but sneaking glances every few times. Jungkook played like he didn't notice. He always played like he didn't notice until his eyes flickered over briefly just once when Taehyung laughed quietly at something on his phone. It was the smallest glance, but Yoongi catch it and smiled. Tete, Yoongi sang, appearing suddenly behind him and throwing an arm over his shoulders. Ah, you scared me. Taehyung blinked up, startled but smiling politely. Always sit here watching Jungkook like a drama is about to happen. I wasn't watching. Taehyung squinted, face burning. Sure, sure, Yoongi teased, ruffling his hair. The kid slyly hugging his arm to himself. Don't tease me. But it's so fun when you are all right. Youngie grinned. You are like a little strawberry. Just then a basketball bounced little too hard at the far end of the court. Jungkook walked over, picking it up silently and glanced at them. Taehyung didn't notice, but Youngie did. Leaned a little closer, voice low beside Taehyung's ear. Do you like cyborgs, Jungkook? Jungkook didn't react. He just bounced the ball once, then again, then turned and walked back to the court. But it shots hit the rim a lot more than often that afternoon. To be continued. Everyone, what do you think? What is gonna happen in the next episode? Will love this long story as I'm working on a long story after a while. So please comment down whatever your feelings are, and I will be back with another episode maybe day after tomorrow or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Bye bye. Bye.